So, this is mainly just a RoRacing video, just kind of to show you guys some basic advice. Tires, basically, is the topic. This is a little showcase that's going to be made over some time, but we're just going to go straight off to the bat. So tires are a very necessary part, especially in robots oval racing, because you want something that's going to prevent people from cutting. I actually use this on road courses too, because there is usability, and it also can be useful for rally. So we're just going to kind of go along showing you guys the steps. Oftentimes you want there to be, something white like this. I actually have my own model, but it's not that important. Just gonna duplicate this. Kind of like a speed run, actually. Basically, you want to make your model. And you can make your model literally however you want. You could use another model, but we're just using this as like an example. So, you just negate your little tire here. Boom. You have a basic infield tire. Now, this is type A. This is the most common, and it's a basic collision bots. So, in basic terms, if you hit this, it'll be like hitting a wall and it'll stop your car immediately. It's the classic style, but it can be weaponized. So, that's less than preferable for cases where you don't want that to happen. That could lead to a lot of toxicity. That's not good. So we're gonna make a, some people try to do the second option, which is simply just turning off collide. But then that kind of defeats the purpose, and this becomes an aesthetic piece of art, essentially. Which could look nice, but it also will just add lag. So if you want to make something functional, you take that part that's non-functional, the no collide, make sure this aesthetic piece is no collide. You label this as aesthetic piece, or something that it likes. Then you get the top one, so that's the directions here. So basically, this is no collide. You're going to want to do is this simple, okay? So you get a sphere, you want to pretty much center it, make sure it's the same size. That's I think it's one stud larger, so make sure. Yeah. Okay. Now you tweak this, but generally speaking, there's a bit of Goldilocks zone here. You do too much, and it will act very similar to this, or it'll just become a ramp. You do too little, and it won't work at all. So you kind of want to just find a Goldilocks zone for the hitbots is what it basically is. And hitboxes, you can make it any shape or form. It's the Roblox platform, so you could use wedges, although I don't recommend wedges. That is single directional. This is omnidirectional. You can make it to where maybe, if you throw a slider or like a dive bomb completely through the infield, let's say you're making an oval, that'll count as that'll stop your car. That'll prevent that from happening. That could also be weaponized. But what could also be done is that you could use, again, a sphere, and that will just work omnidirectionally. Or just have a smaller block, but I don't really prefer that. I do H-chassis racing, so that's a bit of a different thing. H-chassis oval racing is small, but that's not part of the topic. You could also tweak the custom physical properties. Generally speaking, you don't want there to be a lot of elasticity, because that could just bounce people. The same thing with density. Density affects all the other stats, and the friction is up to you. There's advantages to both, and depending on the size of the cars going over these, you should adjust these accordingly. Same, of course, with everything else. But we're just gonna group this and call this Type 3 infield tire, which for the longest time I called these SLCRA grade, which is the oval part of my league, and that just basically means that I don't think I've actually ever seen these anywhere else. And also, even to make this piece invisible, but for the sake of showing you guys a demonstration, that will stay visible. But again, you would make this normally invisible. Go to your properties and just turn this into transparency 1. Or you just leave it to 0 and it'll stay like that, which is how I'm going to demonstrate this. We're going to use a cart, so block carts from back then. I don't even know if they work. It's an chassis cart. It's nice, actually. Not sure where I got that from, but that's not what I'm worrying about. I'm just going to bring in a cart real quickly. If that doesn't work, I'll bring another one. And I'll demonstrate you the 3 things that'll happen if you hit these. Now, do note that this does have the possibility to flip you, or whoever hits it, but it also allows people to keep on going as an advantage as compared to just hitting a solid block. It'll still ruin your lap, but it won't ruin your day, your race, or anything, usually. It has a chance to. You hit it the wrong way, but it's not always the case. So we're just going to hop into this card and hope that it works. So type 1, hit it, and bounce around like that. That's usually how it goes. Type 2, as you see here, it is no collide, and you just drive through it. Type 3, that does look a little steep, but we're just going to do it anyways. You would bounce over it. That's a little bit steeper than I would usually make it, but again, you see, hit this one is just a solid object. So, really, the choice is up to you. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to show. It's just something that a lot of people seem to not grasp, and that'd be good to just kind of show it for everyone to use. Thank you for watching. Until next time.